Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Zoe and today we're going to do my eyeshadow palette declutter. I already filmed this but it went wrong somehow, so we're going to do it again. I have all my palettes out in front of me, even the palettes I at some point already decluttered but that haven't made their way out of my collection yet because they haven't been sold or haven't been gifted. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move in a little less than 2 months, so I really need to get these palettes out of my collection and give them to someone else if I don't want to keep them, or give them love, keep them if I do want to. I'm also going to move some palettes over in a box already because we want to kind of get the moving process along by already packing some things. So that's what we're doing. More than half of my lip products is already in a box and currently in storage. So that's what we're going to do. So you're mainly going to see my hands. Grab your snacks and your drinks. I have my water here because it might take me some time because we have a lot to go through. So I'm going to do these from biggest palettes to smallest palettes. But first I want to talk about these two because these contain my single shadows. I have a Lethal Cosmetics palette and I have a palette with like random singles. I am going to keep these. I actually want to buy some more Lethal shadows throughout this year because I know I'm not going to have as much money to spend on makeup. Not that I spend a bunch, but still. But buying like one Lethal shadow each month is going to be possible. So that's what I'm planning on maybe doing to, keep myself like happily using new makeup. So those we're both gonna keep. Now let's get into the palettes. Let's start with the largest one. Sorry, someone was driving by. This is the W7 Mardi Gras palette. It's the Express Yourself palette. Wait, I'm probably supposed to hold it like this for you guys. No, we're gonna like hold it like this. So this is the palette. It has a lot of colors. I think this is supposed to be a dupe of the Be Perfect something Carnival 3 maybe. I did really enjoy this. I used it a lot when doing other people's makeup because you have a lot of colors, but I find that I'm missing some crucial colors and also missing some crucial shimmers. So I don't really use this much, and I think I can get rid of it. And it's large, and other people might love it a lot more than the love I have given it. Then we have these. These all have 30 shades. By the way, the last one had 40 shades. These have 30 shades. I have two by Sample Beauty. We have the Equalizer, which at one point was my favorite palette. I do still think this is super beautiful and easy for someone that's loving color but not really venturing into using different colors and doesn't really know, that's kind of scared to build looks. This really helps. You have a shimmer and a matte of every single color. Of some colors you have a matte and a satin. Of some colors you have a shimmer and a satin. I do really enjoy this every time I use it, but if I'm gonna put this next to the other one, which is the Sample Beauty Painters palette, which looks like this, I feel like they're very similar in what I can achieve. This doesn't have the shimmers, but it does have those like more deepening up tones. So here I will always get a bright green look, but here I can kind of venture into more teal, more like dark smoky, some lighter pops as well. So I am going to keep the Painter's palette because if I need any color, this I can totally reach for, and I'm not going to need the Sample Beauty Equalizer any longer. So keeping the Sample Beauty Painter's palette and getting rid of the Sample Beauty Equalizer. Okay, I'm going to need to speed up or else we're going to be here for 5 hours. Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet. This is a gorgeous palette. I don't use this enough. I think I could use this every day and easily be happy. Yeah, I should use this more, and this is definitely staying. let's get into the palettes that have 25 shades. I have 3 of the ABH Norvina collections. And what I'm actually going to do is with the top 2, the ABH Norvina 3, I think this is. No, 2, which looks like... Hello? Oh, which looks like this. And the 3, which actually looks like this. Very nice and orangey. I'm gonna actually try and sell these. I do enjoy them. I use them when I do other people's makeup as well, but I don't use them enough. So I'm gonna try and sell these for a decent price. If they go, they go. If I can't get enough for them, I'm gonna keep them. That's what I'm gonna do with these. So for now, they're decluttered, but I do want to get a good amount of money for them, because if I don't, I'd rather keep on using them. And then we have the Norvina Volume 6. This is brand new to me. I think it's very like pretty that you have your deepening up tones for every row. So I think I'm gonna get some use out of this. I don't know why they put this top row in here. For me, it could have just been a matte and I would be quite happy. Even though I'm not an all matte girl, the top row doesn't really make sense to me, but love the packaging, and I still really want to try it and see how much use I'll get out of this. The palettes that have 21 shades. Oh, how the mighty has fallen. The urban kid born to run. At some point, everybody and their mother loved this, but first of all, the quality is not. Some of these shades are beautiful, but some are just like, I don't know, not the greatest. And also, all of these mattes put warm on me, and I love these 4 shades here, and I don't know what to do with them with a warmer matte. I like pairing them with a more neutral matte, so this can go. It no longer serves a purpose in my collection. The Adventurous by Profusion, I actually planned on putting on a chopping block. I actually did put it on the chopping block, and I actually did already use it because, as I said, I tried to film this video before and it wasn't, I didn't succeed, like it didn't work out. But I actually really enjoyed this palette every time I use it. I used it twice, a more neutral look, a more colorful look. Really enjoyed it, so I'm actually going to keep this one. And the Friends X Revolution palette. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about putting on this on the chopping block, but I know if I do, I'm gonna like it because the mattes in this are actually quite good, and the shimmers as well. And yeah, I also really like the whole format, even though it's super annoying to store. I do really love Friends, so I'm gonna keep this. And then last but not least, I'm not going to declutter anything from this pile, I think. We have the Scott Barnes Color Bomb. Is that what you're called? Yeah, Color Bomb. When I got this, I was like, ugh. But this actually works so beautifully because you can actually mix the shades. So you don't have a matte purple, but the red and the blue actually mix to a purple. And I know that sounds like duh, but not all shades, like not all palettes do that. The green and the blues can, the yellow and blues can easily make a green. So you can really work with this palette. It's a real artistry palette and I enjoy it a lot. And then we have my 3 Cosmic Beauty palettes. I used to have 2 more, but I actually sold those because they weren't really my color story. I have the Sinister. Oh, yeah, I hope you had enough time to click away if you've ordered this mystery box. But yeah, I hope you had. This is the Sinister palette. I really like the color story. By the way, that was in a mystery box. That's why I hesitated because it's not really fair to show people what's in a mystery box if they haven't gotten it yet. But it has been like over a month, so I hope that's okay. And then we have Winter Wonderland, which looks like this. It has beautiful shifty shades. I love a good blue and purple, so obviously I'm gonna keep this. This is the only one I'm kind of like, I'm not using this a lot. And I do really love the color story, but I think I'm gonna put this on a chopping block. This was already on a chopping block, but I didn't get to using it yet, so I'm gonna put it there again. And I want to make a few looks with this to see if this is actually something I'm going to be reaching for in the future. Okay, let me get the next pile of palettes. Okay, we're back with the palettes with 18 shades, 16 shades, 15 shades, and 14 shades. That's what we're gonna do next. So let's get into these. Wait, let's move these over a bit because I don't know if you can actually see. Okay. So we have the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. This used to be one of my favorite palettes. I haven't used it in quite a bit, but I think this is gonna have a place in my collection because every time I do reach for it, I really enjoy it. And I think there will be a time where I'm gonna be reaching for this more again. Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. I think this is just such a stunning color story. Does it look amazing on me? No, some of these shades like kind of don't do any good to my skin tone, but I think there's so much you can do with this palette, and I love using this, so I'm definitely gonna keep this. Beautiful color story. Like, I just love that one. I think that's my favorite one at the moment. New Daring. This is a very good Catrice palette, very good quality. Honestly, beautiful. However, I use the same 4 shades over and over in this palette, and I don't need an entire palette for that. It looks kind of similar to if you mixed Rose Quartz and Naughty Nude, so I'm not going to need an entire palette when I'm just going to use a few shades, and another person might use the entire palette. So this is going to be decluttered, and so is this. This is super old, tasty chili, and not my color story at all, so let's get rid of it. Okay, let's do these 16 shade palettes. I'm starting off with the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. Some of my shades have hit, like, not hard pan, but kind of, I don't know. And this color story is just, I don't, it's really boring, let's be honest. And you have boring in a good way. This to me is not boring in a good way, so I'm gonna get rid of it. A palette that's not boring and very much in a good way is this palette. I actually really enjoy this chocolate gold palette from Too Faced. I have some really good memories linked to it, but also it's just a very nice quality palette. I love the mattes that you do get in here. I love the shimmers. Yes, the ratio is kind of off, but do I ever see myself using these mattes up? I don't think so. So for me, this is a beautiful palette. Gives a lot of options as well, like when you're traveling or something. Okay, let's do my Odin's Eye palettes. I actually, Odin's Eye sometimes has these codes you can get. Like, they post like 20 codes, and all the codes can only be used once, and then you get like a discount. And I actually got one. So I'll have 2 more Odin's Eye palettes coming in, the Hey Reindeer and the red Christmassy one from this year. But these are the ones I have at the moment. The Hella palette, I used to love this. This was, I think, my #1 palette at some point. I have realized that grungy greens make me look like I have enormous bags under my eyes. But these are kind of like, I can use these, except maybe for this one, but the rest I can use. And I love this bottom, like these pinky and brown blackish tones so much that I am actually going to keep this. Also, Odin's Eye formula is just good. I like it a lot. So let's not get that twisted. This same story, beautiful color story, beautiful shades. I just really enjoy the Odin's Eye formula, the mattes, the shimmers, all of it. This limited edition, you can no longer get this. I got it in a mystery box. I was so happy about that. Yeah, and I like it. I like color stories like this year round, so for me, it's not only a Christmas palette. And then this I also got in that mystery box, and it's the little ghost palette. I'm actually really happy that I got this one because this is the most me color story. This yellow is insane. It looks so good. And this color story, blues, purples, love it. The reds that are in here are real like reddish, orangish, pink tones, not just like coppers. So I'm actually really, I think this is my favorite at the moment from Odin's Eye. And then we have the Magic Mini, and this is one that used to be like at the top, but seeing this next to other palettes like the Little Ghost, I'm just lacking mattes in the cool side of the palette. I think the concept is really nice where you have warm tones and cool tones, colorfuls, but you really need another matte. And if you have two cool tone mattes, why make it almost exactly the same color? So I feel like I'm not reaching for this palette as much. I used to be reaching for these shades most because they have this beautiful shift, but I have more shifty shades right now, shades that shift even more, so I think we can get rid of this. Sadly, I think we also need to get rid of this. This is the BH, what is this? Passion in Paris. I wish this looked good on me, but every time I do a look with this, which I have done a look with it now like 3 or 4 times, every time it looks horrendous. Honestly, I've taken my makeup off a few times. Like, I think 2 of the times that I used this. And then the other times I was like, oh, let's just leave it on. But I wasn't happy about it. And I know this looks good on a lot of people. I'm just not one of them. So let's give it to someone that really, or like sell it to someone that actually gets used out of it and has beautiful looks with it. The palette that I am planning on keeping is the Ultimate Flamingo Frost. This is just such a nice format. I have 9 pans that are bigger than this. This is just a beautiful, like, small format. I like taking this traveling with me. I like the green a lot. The only shade I wish was different is this shade. I would have loved that to be just like a normal icy white shimmer, because this is just a kind of a weird thing going on. But love the pinks, love the neutrals, love the pops of green. I think this is just a beautiful mix of colors and a really, really well done palette by NYX. Okay, let's get into the 15 pans. Let's get these out of the way. I actually mixed these 3 up to create like travel friendly palettes. So I have this one, which I can actually see myself traveling with a bit. I have this one, which I can also see myself traveling with a bit. And then we have this guy, and this kind of honestly has all the shades I probably will never ever use. Like, this is all the oranges and the reds and the, oranges and like coppers and warm golds. I'm not too much of a warm tone girl. I like my cool tones and pinks and berries and all of that, and not necessarily these kind of shades. This is going to be same story to the ABH palettes, the ABH and Rafina palettes. If I can sell this, I will. If it doesn't sell, it's fine. I'll keep it. I do, like, I have done bridal makeup once, and I have used these 3 palettes, so it's fine. But if someone wants it, I'm definitely willing to sell it. So selling that, like, getting rid of that, keeping these 2, because I do like the formula. I don't use it enough. I wish I used it a little bit more because it's actually really good, but I forget about that. And then this is my last Natasha Denona palette in this size. Well, this is smaller, but I need this amount of shades. I do actually really like this. This is my kind of a warm tone neutral where you have like purpley, cranberry, like rosy kind of shades. So only these 2 are like true warms, and the rest is more rosy, and I really enjoy that. So this I'm definitely keeping. Oops, sorry for the noise. Then we have the Malibu Barbie palette. I'm going to be honest with you. I love this. Looking at this, I'm like, yes, this is great. And then I'm like, I'm going to use it in summer, and then I never ever use it. So I think this is like a full-on chopping block palette, because I need to show myself that I can use this, and if I'm not truly happy about what I create, then I really need to let it go, because it's just going to waste in my collection. And then we have this. I just think ColourPop has a better formula now. A lot of palettes have better formulas, so I don't need this anymore, but it is super cute. So if someone wants it, I can definitely see someone being very happy with that. It's just not me. Soul Moon. This is, I'm probably not saying that correctly, but this is a beautiful palette. I only did one look with it so far, and it was with the bottom row, which I know people are gonna be like, but you don't really like golds and oranges. No, I don't, but it was a fine look. But I do think it was imperfect. So I'm really wanting to use the top two rows and see if I actually like it then. And if I don't think this has a use in my collection. So I'm going to put this on the chopping block as well. And same goes for this. This is the Glamlight Friday the 13th palette. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. I believe it's the name. Very long name. I don't watch horror movies, so I don't know if this is like true to the movie, but this is the color story. I do love the color story looking at it, and I use this on my eyes exactly 0 times, so I need to, putting it on a chopping block, need to use it at least 2 times, and if I don't love the looks, I'm getting rid of it. I'm for sure getting rid of this. Why did I ever buy this? Like, modern Renaissance is not fully my color story, so let alone a Revolution dupe. The iconic Vitality is what this is called. It was super affordable. I literally used 2 shades and that's it. So this can go. What can't go is the Moira Beauty Adventure. This is so cute, you guys. Look at this, and you got it, like, I got a little card with it, like, explaining a game, and it's all fictional, but it's a very cute palette. I really enjoy Moira's formula. I like their creativity, so definitely keeping this. Also, got it from my sister and brother-in-law, so keeping it for sure. Then we have the Sumerian Sunset by Adept. Oh my god. Like, I would love to buy a lot more Adept palettes because this isn't even my perfect color story. Like, it has grungy greens and oranges, but still, oh, this is so beautiful, and I really want more palettes, but you know, my wallet says no. So this I'm definitely keeping because you just heard me like rave about it clearly. So, and then we have the Nomad Land of, yeah, well, the Iceland Fire and Ice palette. That's what this is called. Beautiful, beautiful formula. Really enjoyed the Nomad formula in this palette. I'm looking forward to buying some more for Nomad if my wallet ever lets me. But I'm keeping this for now. I do see myself maybe decluttering this in the future when I have more Nomad palettes, because this is not fully my ideal color story, but I do enjoy it at the moment. So this is definitely staying. And Nomad's formula and like all like the creativity about around it is just so great. I would love to have all of their palettes, if I'm honest. Like I would really, really be happy if I received all their palettes at some point in my life. And then we have the Sydney Grace Enduring Love. This is one of those palettes that, if I'm truly honest, this is super boring to look at. However, if I needed a neutral palette that had both like neutral tones, almost leaning warm, pinky neutral tones, neutral tones, this has it all. And because of that, I think it's a good staple to have. I do need to venture a little bit more into this because I only use it once, but I do see myself reaching for this a lot more in the future. And then the last for the 15 shade pile, the Bella Boutte Bar Basic Witch. And honestly, this same story as Adept and Nomad, I would love to buy so much more from this brand because these shifty shades are just gorgeous. The mattes are really nice. I just need every palette from this brand, but you know, I can. But it's very beautiful. Packaging is nice and basic. Yeah. I keep opening it up because it's so beautiful and I want to look at it, but let's get going. We also have the 14 pan palettes. This I'm never going to get rid of. It has very high sentimental value to me. Most makeup doesn't. This definitely does. Keeping it forever and ever and ever. Even if it goes bad, I'm keeping it. Catrice Blooming Bliss. I actually also got this from my brother and sister-in-law, and I only used it once so far because I thought I used it like a couple of times, and then I found out I never used it. So recently I used it. This is gorgeous. Like, honestly, this is super beautiful. The metallics are gorgeous. The mattes are gorgeous. Keeping this for sure. Highly recommended. Blooming Bliss. That's what it's called. And then this I actually got myself. The Haunted palette. And yes, I know people are going to be like, I thought you didn't like grungy greens. I don't, but the rest of this palette pulls me in so much that I don't even care. I used this once, loved it. Did I use it once? Did I use this at all? Yeah, I used it. Okay, I used this once and I loved the look. And I think I'm gonna love every look I'm gonna create with this because it's just gorgeous. And I really already know I like the Gourmand Girl formula. Gourmand Girls is also a brand that I would love to have everything off. And then we have this, which actually my boyfriend gifted to me for Christmas. How cute. I love him so much. He is like my life. But this is the palette and I think it's amazing. All these neons, bright shades, I think are absolutely gorgeous. Oh, by the way, this is in collaboration with Steph's Beauty Stash, I believe, and this with Doodles by the Bunny. Okay, we need another pile of palettes because we're through already. So let me get back and get some more palettes. Okay, I think we're about halfway through. Maybe not. But I think we're gonna get really get rid of some things in these piles. Sorry, can't really talk anymore. It's been a while. So let's start with the 12 pen palettes, which is both this and this pile over here. But let's start with these. The Naked Naked Ultra Violet. Sorry. I used to love this, but I'm missing some mattes in this palette. It only has like 3 mattes, and they're all 3 of them are super light. And I have a lot of purple and neutral palettes that I love more than this, so this can go. The Naked Violet West was on a chopping block, but I did already use it, so I'm actually going to keep this. Weirdly enough, this color story gives me both the cool tones and the warm tones I want, and it's just a good palette, so keeping that. What I don't know if I'm going to keep, why is there something on here? Oh my god. What is that? Okay, but let's not do this now. The Cosmos palette, I'm not sure. You know, I like this palette, but I have palettes that I like more, but I don't dislike this. I'm gonna put this on a chopping block, see if I can actually get some use out of it, and if I can get the stain off. And I'll see if I keep it or sell it. What I'm not gonna sell is this Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. By the way, the last one was an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette too. But this I do really enjoy, actually. This reminds me of fall, but I can see myself reaching for this year round. So keeping this packaging wise, this is also much more satisfying than a Cosmos one. Then the What's Up Beauty. I think if I have to make a top like 10 of palettes, this is going to be in it. Maybe even in my top 3. Because I really enjoy the shimmers in here so much. The mattes are also beautiful. I haven't bought the other palettes that they have because I don't know if they're going to be my color story per se, but this definitely is. And how beautiful is this packaging? I recommend this palette to literally anyone. It's so gorgeous. Like, this palette just brings me luck thinking about it, looking at it. Just, I don't even have to use it to be happy. And then we have the MUA Undress Me Too. This is about 100 years old. It's very good. It's still good. But this is more a point I'm making, I think, trying to use as much up. I used to have the black packaging version of this, and I actually used up the entire palette. I don't know if I'm going to do that with this, but every time I use it, I, like, actually enjoy using it, so keeping it for now. But then, because people are going to be like, you said you were going to declutter things. Yes, I am. Lush Life by Colourpop. Let's be honest, everybody loved this. Everybody that I love loved this, but I don't. I don't know how to make this color story work for me personally, so it can go. The Zodiac by Kathleen Lights. Used to really like this. It's not really my thing anymore. Getting rid of it. Blush Like Me. It's still in the packaging. I think I used it once, maybe twice. This color story is just a little off for me. I don't know what, I have other things I like more, and I know people are gonna love this, probably. And I'm not that somebody, so this can go. What can't go is the El Camino palette by German Girls and Ladybug Glow. This is actually the other palette I got for Christmas from my boyfriend, which is wonderful. I used this shade Pink Champagne all over the lid already, and I'm very, very excited to venture into the other shades, so I'm definitely keeping this. Also, how beautifully does the inside of this packaging match like the outside? How wonderful. I just think that's aesthetically so nice. So keeping this for sure. I'm feeling like a very dangerous pile next to me. The Catrice Addicted to Chocolates. You know, I'm gonna get back to this because I have the Pure Nude one coming up, so I want to kind of compare those, and then we'll get back to this. The Ace Beauté Scarlet Dusk. It's the only Ace Beauté palette I have, but I like this, but I forget I have this every time. I only use it twice, and I think maybe only once. Did I actually use this? I think once. So I think someone else can get more use out of it. This, I found out I wasn't a jewel toned girl straight away when I got this, because I used it barely, and that was in a time where I did love Juvia's Place. So you know, that says something. This is so old. I shouldn't even like be giving or selling this or whatever. Like, it's still good, but it's so old, and I just, no, this needs to go. Also, not my color story anymore. This, oof. For some reason I decluttered this, but I do really enjoy the times I use this. What I think I'm gonna do is put this on a chopping block, see if I can actually get some use out of it. It's the Serenity palette by Menagerie, and it's with Annette, I believe, Annette's Makeup Corner. And I do think the outside and the inside match each other beautifully. I just don't know why I decluttered this, so I kind of want to find that out, or find out that I decluttered it wrongfully. Treasure Cruise by Sugar Drizzle. Beautiful palette. I know I'm not very much a all shimmer kind of girl, but I do actually reach for this every now and then when I want a special shade and it's not in the palette, so keeping that. I'm also keeping the Parental Advisory. I'm not, I can show this for too long because it has cuss words as every single shade name, so I do really like it though. I'm keeping it, but this I'm gonna also put aside because I have one more of this, of these storybook palettes, and I'm gonna get back to it when I have the other one, which is in the 6 pan pile. So let's get into the 10 pan pile. This is just, first of all, kind of a weird color story, but second of all, these pen shapes, I can't get one single color on my brush, except for the middle two, but that's it. And also, there's no matte, so this can go. I used to have the old Elysium from MUA. You know, the thing is, I like the shimmers in this palette, but why do we have two, like, mid-toned mattes and not a darker one? I can't, no. This has to go, I'm sorry. And then the Glamlight Street Taco I used to love, but also I used to have to look up looks to know what to do with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in the chopping block pile, because I think it's kind of similar to that new Gourmand Girls palette I have, and I don't know if I need to keep this. I only want to keep that if the looks come naturally to me. Dominique Latte palette. Why does this have only warm tone mattes when you have two cool toned shimmers? I don't get this. This can go. Cocoa Blend. I usually declutter this over 100 times, and then today I used it on my eyes and I really liked it. So I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna put it on the chopping block pile to use it one more time to see if I actually enjoy it. This, yeah, well, I think you need to grab this out of my cold dead hands if you want to take it, because I've only used this once, but what did they put in this? This is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to using it like many more times. And also, this is the packaging it came in, and I'm literally keeping it like this because I think I can't get it in. Okay, we'll do this later, but how beautiful is this? Absolutely stunning. Keeping that for sure. And then if we have the Melvita, I'm gonna be truly honest with you. The mattes in this, especially this one, atrocious. This one, very doable, nothing special. I said mattes, right? I meant shimmers. But the mattes in this, very nice. Very blendable, very beautiful, very punchy. So keeping this, because it only has 2 shimmers. If it had more shimmers, I might have just, you know, put it away because it has so many shimmers and the shimmers annoy me, but it has more mattes than it has shimmers, so we can try. I'm still trying to put this in, but for some reason I can't get it to work, so that's annoying me and I need to let it go, but I am not very good at that. Yes, I have it, yes. Okay, 8 pans. We have all of these. Let's first do this one. I actually used this again. It was on a chopping block. I did like the look I created with it, but I didn't love it enough to keep this palette because I have other palettes I can create pink looks with, and that come slightly easier to me. Then we have the Pure Nude by Catrice, and we have the Addicted to Chocolates. The Addicted to Chocolates is like 100 years older, but honestly, I found myself not reaching for this once. And I know I used to reach for this a lot, and I just think this excites me a little bit more for some reason. So I'm going to get rid of the Pure Nude, and I'm actually going to keep this years and years old Addicted to Chocolates palette. Weird choices are made. And then I'm going to keep both the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams. I just, some way this color story does something to me, and I enjoy it. So it can keep, I'm gonna keep it. And then the Essence Jurassic World. People do not understand how, like, a normal primary school teacher that loves makeup, how much I love dinosaurs. I just think, I don't know. It fascinates me. So I'm actually gonna keep this. It's a really kind of weird color story, but it's nice for fall, and you know, it makes me happy. The shade names make me happy. Everything makes me happy. So I'm gonna keep it. Okay, before getting into the 7 and 6 shades, palettes, palettes with 7 or 6 shades, I'm gonna actually get the pile next to me into a box because everything's gonna fall over in a bit, and then I have a lot of broken palettes. So be right back. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry I messed up. I did the 8 pans, but I didn't do the 9 pans because I have so many of those that I had a separate box for them and I forgot. So let's do the 9 pans before we get into the 7 and 6 and all of that. Let's start with my little Huda Beauty pile. Okay, keeping the Wild Jaguar because this just is a beautiful, what do we call it? Smoky palette to me. Keeping it, liking it a lot. I used to love the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions, but I have really reached for it the past year. So I'm gonna put this on the chopping block, see if I actually enjoy using it. If I don't, I can get rid of it. The Wild Python, I could put on the chopping block and then I could make it work, but then I don't really reach for it because I think it's an odd color story. So I'm actually gonna just declutter this. Okay, I have 2 of the Game Beauty palettes. Love the purple one. Absolutely love it. This bottom shade is very special as well. Also like the green one. it's not as special, but I do love having a monochromatic green palette, and I do reach for it every now and then. So keeping that. Then we have my 9 pans from ColourPop. So we have 3 in this plastic packaging. And then we have these. Ooh. Okay. Let's just do it like this. Okay, So Fly, definitely keeping. For some reason, this is my favorite 9-pan palette from ColourPop. It's the most boring one as well, but for some reason, I love it. So I'm keeping it. I think I need to get rid of the Frozen one because honestly, every time I use this, it gives me a hard time. And I do think it's gorgeous, but I do think it's gorgeous on other people more than it is on me, especially the process of it. And then we have Cherry Crush. I love reds and pinks, but for some reason I can't get, like, this is too monochromatic. I'm missing lighter tones, darker tones, mid-tones. I'm missing just things. And then we have the ColourPop Mandalorian. Oh, I don't want to love this for some reason because I think the tones don't look that great on me, but maybe they do. This looks so good. I need to keep it. Sorry. I'm sorry. ColourPop Original. Well, my mirror like came broken from the get-go, but this does go from light to dark a little bit more. It is very like deep toned overall, but I do think I can still get some use out of it. Same for Blue Moon. It's very blue, I know, but you know, when I want to make a good blue look, this is nice. And I need to always, like, I used to perform dance wise, and we needed to use blue, so I used that on myself and others. And then this, okay, do I enjoy using this? Oh, yes. Do I love using it? No. Do I use it every now and then? Yes. So this can have another chance, but if I don't like love using it in the next year, I might just declutter it. Now here comes the big decluttering. Because I used to love Juvia's Place, now I don't reach for them anymore. I think they kind of have been surpassed, but also I haven't tried any of their newer palettes, so who am I to say? Yeah, so the shimmers in the Saharan 2 are gorgeous. The mattes are just not up to speed anymore. The dews, you either loved the dews or you hated it. I loved it, but now I have other color stories I like more, other formulas I like more as well. The Warrior 3, I love the matte formula. I just don't know why these particular shimmers are here. Both of them are quite blue tone, and you have a lot of different shades, and I have other rainbow palettes I like more and reach for more. And then the Festival, this color story always inspired me, but then inspired me in a way that it made me happy, but I had no clue what to do with it. So this can actually go as well. Wow. Okay, Anastasia Sugar and Anastasia Sultry. I have the Sultry Mini. I also have the Sultry Big, I know, but I don't, like, because of sentimental values, I don't want to travel with it. I do want to travel with this one. I really enjoy it, so I'm keeping this. For now, also keeping Sugar, but I only used it once, and I was not, like, blown away by it. So, this might make its way into the chopping block pile. It might. I'm on the verge of keeping it, but then something in me says chopping block pile. So I'm going to put it in there, but I might eventually not use it and just be like, I'm keeping it. Then a pile that we're not going to declutter anything from. I'm sorry, but I was, like, earlier I was talking about brands that I want to keep everything from. Fantasy Cosmetica, added to that row. Love all the palettes that I have. Obviously, not all of the color stories they have are for me, but love this, the Fighter, love the Rogue. Oh, these shades are so shifty and so beautiful, and they just excite me looking at. I could just, like, spend a whole evening looking at these palettes and just be completely happy and satisfied. So absolutely gorgeous. Oops, sorry. So I have Sorcerer, Warlock, Rogue, and Fighter, and I'm keeping every single one of them, without a doubt. And then we have Revolution, which is going to be kind of a different story. I'm gonna put the I Heart Revolution Looney Tunes palette on a chopping block. I do really like the mattes. I don't know why these shimmers are here, but I remember being able to make this palette work beautifully, so I'm gonna try, you know? A girl can try. And then these can go. I mean, this was like a few years ago now. Revolution has a better formula. A lot of other brands have better formulas, so these can go. The Ross one was already sold by someone, and then this, oh, I have already sold the Ross one, and the rest can also go. And then the last of the 9 pans, the W7 Sweet Cocoa. The mattes in this are quite nice. The shimmers are like sticky or something. It's very weird. Maybe someone else likes it, but I definitely don't. And then we have the Earthly Night's Terror. I only used this once so far, but I did really enjoy it. Hello? It is quite bulky, but that's okay with me. I don't really mind. And I think this is such a beautiful shifty formula. Mattes are really nice. Shimmers are really nice. So I'm keeping that for sure. Also, it's pretty new to me, so I want to use it a little bit more. Unearthly is the formula that I'm definitely curious to try more in the future. Again, when my wallet lets me. Then we have the Mavi Beauty Take Me to Istanbul. Some of these shades have hard pan, not that you can't use them anymore, but, and also the orange and purple color story is just not for me. That can go. IBY Fireside, this just is kind of boring to me. It doesn't excite me. I have more color stories that look like this, and this green, sorry, is the ugliest green on me ever. Talking about ugly greens, NVE from Sigma is not pretty either. But Sigma does their neutrals so well. So these three shades are super stunning. But then the greens, kind of like, I don't know. The matte is fine, but then the shimmers are like kind of lackluster. So I think I'm gonna declutter this one just because I'm not gonna use every shade, and I think I'd rather change it up for like a palette that works the way I want to. And then talking about Sigma, I have a 7 pen from them, and this is all neutrals, and this is the color story I like. So I think I'm gonna keep this for now because I love the formula from Sigma. I just don't always really love their color stories. And then the Kaleidos one. Oh my god. I need to take a sip of water for this because this used to be my ultimate favorite palette, and now I haven't used it in like, I think over a year, if I'm honest. What should we do with this? Chopping block or getting rid of it? It is absolutely stunning, but you know what? I'm going to get rid of this. Let's be honest. I'm going to use it on the chopping block, make a look I like, and then put it in the closet for over a year already. That can go. Okay, 6 pans. We're finally there. This is the Essence Bronze This Way. I haven't used this. I'm actually allergic to fragrance. This is fragrance. This can go. I know people might be like, oh, why are you keeping one of the Too Faced palettes? I have decluttered Too Faced palettes in the past, but this one I can actually take. And yes, I read the description, but sometimes I read over things, or I get things from others. This is also fragrance. This is Dancing Green. I did actually use this, but I can't use this for like a few nights in a row, and I don't want to be worried about allergic reactions when I use makeup, so that can go. Protect Your Energy. I don't think I've ever used this, or only the brown shade, and so I think this can be rehomed. The color story is nice, but not fully my thing. And then we have these two, also by Essence. We have Don't Worry Be. This doesn't contain fragrance. The Protect Your Energy doesn't either, I think. And the Don't Stop Believing In. I love these, especially this one. It's one of my favorite like mini palettes. I like these a lot. The formula is very nice in these, so I'm definitely keeping these two. And then we have 3 palettes by Unique Beauty. This I don't think exists anymore. At least they don't make eyeshadow palettes anymore. But the Tokyo one is very gorgeous, but very like deep. So I'm gonna get rid of that because I would need to reach for other palettes, and what's the point of a mini palette? Then this one, for some reason, this First Class shade is shattering every time I open it. Yeah, but I think, what is that? Oh, I think this can definitely be rehomed, given to someone that actually enjoys it. The This color story is just not really that much for me, so I'm gonna get rid of those. The Pamper Me palette, though, these two shades, and actually this one as well, the mattes in this are not good. Let's be honest, they're just like kind of sheer and stuff like that. But the shimmers in this one, yeah, I'm gonna keep it for those because it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, let's get seated in a different position because my entire feet are sleeping. My entire legs are like falling asleep. It's terrible. Okay. Whew. The Inglot, Wanna, Banana, and Creech Peach. Beautiful palettes. Really enjoy them. It's just a good staple palette, and you can kind of like stack them like this. Um, are these like the most special, like crazy shimmers or mattes? No, but they are just very good staples. Reliable, so I'm gonna keep them. The Catrice, what are you called? Ice Lilac. This is just so lackluster and such a boring color story. That can go. It's just no good and not so nice. This is chopping block material every time I do declutter, and every time it makes it out fully alive because it's actually quite beautiful. They're quite beautiful on the eyes, but I'm gonna do exactly that because, um, you know, I tend to fall in love with them when I use them on a chopping block. Nabla, the Metropolitan Cutie palette, this is what it looks like. I just get confused by the different formulas in this. The mattes are really nice, the shimmers all perform very different, and the shades, like, I don't know why this gold shade isn't here. This just confuses me, and I didn't like it every time I used it, so that can go. Colored Rain has set to no longer be a brand, and this is the Beauty Rust palette. Same kind of thing, but here the shimmer is really nice and the mattes are kind of inconsistent. Not bad. I think people can really enjoy this palette, but I'm not that person. And also, the color of the packaging makes the shades look very muted, which they're not, but the packaging is just very bright. And then here comes the other storybook palette. I actually use these as decoration, and my boyfriend really also likes them as decoration. However, that's not what they're meant to be for. I loved the whole idea behind Storybook Cosmetics, but they're no longer a brand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and sell these. If they sell, they sell. But if I don't, get some money for these, I will actually keep them for decoration and to maybe, dip into them once or twice, but mainly because they're extremely cute and it's very nice. By the way, these are the color stories. This is Red Riding Hood, and then this is the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Very, very adorable, but I can get rid of them if someone wants them. And then, last but not least, let's see if I can reach them from over here. Ooh, we have my 5-pan palettes. And then we have my 4 and 3-pan palettes. So let's get these over here. And then let's do the 4 pans in a sec. Okay, let's get the Natasha Denona ones out first because, why not? Alright. We have the Mini Star. Wait, let's open them for you guys. Mini Star, Mini Retro, Mini My Dream, Mini Zendo, and Mini Love. These are the palettes I own. And let's be honest, okay, the Mini Star is, I think, the most versatile. I have hit pan on almost every shade of this. Well, no, I almost hit pan on every shade of this. That's how I'm supposed to say. I every now and then put this in a project pan, and then it frustrates me to no ends. But if I'm judging, like if I'm giving my honest opinion, it's just a very good palette. So keeping that. Also keeping the mini retro. I just really like the color story, and this shade is just out of this world special. And keeping the My Mini Dream. This soft touch packaging is annoying me a little bit because the mattes kind of stain in there, and I only used it once, but I'm planning on using this more. It's just a very easy, like, take to work, take on holiday with me palette. This I used, I did actually like it, but if I'm fully honest, I can make this the look I made with it, which was just the orangey shades with any other palette. And I might even like the look more. So I can get rid of the mini Zendo. Same goes for the mini Love. Yeah, I can make similar looks with a lot of other palettes that I might even like more. So these can go. Then we have the MUA, the Desert Bloom, and the Andromeda Skies. Desert Bloom can stay. I wish there was like a little bit more depth, but the shimmers in this are really beautiful, and the mattes blend out very nice too. And then the Andromeda Skies, I'm actually going to put on a chopping block purely because this is a very dark color story, and I don't know if I can make that work on me. So that's what I want to see and try out. Then we have two of the ColourPop ones. This is Digital Playground, and this is Cashmere Forever. Cashmere Forever, like, why is this, like, I don't understand the mix of warm and cool tones, and then the warm tones being very dark, and the cool tones being, like, mid to light, so that can go. This has a similar story, but because it's a pink, I can actually make this work, and I really love pink looks, so I'm keeping this because it's an easy pink look on the go. Then we have two of the Catrice Woe in a box. I always keep this because I'm like, oh, it's such a soft, beautiful, smoky look, but let's be honest, I haven't used it in a while. I'm not gonna. This can go. This, however, the Catrice Woe in a box, I was at the verge of decluttering, but I actually really enjoy it. And yes, there's only one matte, and yes, it's a mid-tone matte, but for some reason with this color, that works beautifully. So that's gonna stay. The Peaceful Peony. I actually really enjoyed using this, but then it has one glitter that I don't use. These shades are very similar on the eyes, and I think I can do a lot better, so this can go. Profusion has a beautiful formula, don't get me wrong, but this is just not one of their best. Rare Beauty. Sorry. I want to love this, but I don't. I just don't. I never reach for it because I don't like it. So this can go. This, by the way, isn't sincerely me. I love a lot of Rare Beauty products, really, but this one is not one of them. And then I have two of these. I have the Dior, what are you called? Rouge Trafalgar. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful. It has no mattes, which it looked like some of these would be like matte satin shades. But I actually do enjoy using it. It is Dior. It gives you luxe feel. Is this my favorite? No, not by far. I'm really missing my normal structure of shimmer and matte shades. But I can put this on the chopping block, and then I know I'll keep it because, you know, it gives me that luxe feeling. So let's just be honest with ourselves and keep it. And then we have Haggard Cosmetics. Ugh. And this, I only use once because I don't have it for that long, but the shimmers in this make all the difference. The mattes are also really nice, but the shimmers, I thought this was a pink, and then I put it on my eyes and it was like a cream. It's so gorgeous, so shifty, so beautiful. So I'm keeping this. This is the pink one. I have no clue what the shade name is because it says in like Chinese, I believe, or Korean. So I can't understand, but I think it's like something princess pink something. Okay, let's get into the 4 pans and the 3 pans. First, we have some ColourPop. Let's get those out of the way. These are my 3 pans by Glossier. Sorry. Ugh! All the noise. Kaleidos, some more ColourPop, and then some one-offs. Okay, let's start where we're gonna start. Okay, let's start with my e.l.f. little 4-pan situations. I have mint melt. I have, what's this? Chocolate mint. Oh, sorry, this is mint to be, and this is chocolate mint, and this is truffles. I don't know what they did with truffles, but for some reason, to me, this is a cool toned shimmer, and the rest, like the 2 mattes, are warm toned on me, so I'm not gonna use this ever, and this can go. I'm gonna keep both of these, I think. They both have a time and place in my collection where I use them and I enjoy them, so these can both stay. And then my Kaleidos quads, I'm gonna keep all of these. This is definitely my favorite. I believe this is Glowing Iris. This is Glowing Iris, and this like periwinkle just makes me so happy. Keeping that, keeping Cold Brew as well. This I think is going to be the first one that I would declutter if I ever decluttered one of these 3, but I still think it's a good like staple neutral quad. And then this is, I believe, you had Cold Brew and Black Jasmine something. I really enjoy having this for when I really want to do that true smoky eye, because I don't really have these shades in many other things. Let's do some one-offs. This Wet n Wild Silent Treatment quad. I think we can all agree on this is just not the quality anymore, so this can go for sure. The Gosh quad I love, and I think is still great, but I need to throw this away because this is, it's good for 24 months, and I think I've had it since my 13th, wow, I can't say that word. No, it's not 13. Since my 15th birthday, which is 10 years ago, so this just needs to go in a bin. And then we have this Kiko quad in 100, that's the shade. This is gorgeous, beautiful, shifty, like shimmers, those 2, but I have shimmers that are more shifty and more beautiful, and I don't need it anymore. No, not Natasha Denona. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Dreams quad. This is very nice formula. Is this my favorite color story of all time? Maybe not. Does it make me feel luxe? And is it like a palette I can use every day? Definitely. So I'm keeping it. That's my verdict. Then what I'm also keeping, I think, no, you know what? I'm gonna put this on the chopping block. This is the Douglas To the Sky with the Sunrise. I got this for my sister. Every time I use it, I actually really like it, but it looks like absolutely nothing in a pan. So I'm gonna try and use it, not be biased because I got it from someone that I love, but just try and be honest. I think I'm gonna put on the mangoes on the chopping block as well, because something in me wants this, but then something in me also tells me I don't need it. The Sunday Funday and the, where are you? Akayu Baby, I don't think I need. I have many purple palettes, and these I would mainly use together, but then what's the point of a quad? So these can both, sorry. These can both go. I hope nobody was wearing earphones because they might be deaf now. Okay, we also have 2 matte quads, and if I'm honest, if I ever do a matte look, it's by coincidence because I'm using a palette that also has mattes and shimmers, and I just tend to only use mattes, or when I use only my bronzer. So as you might get from this story, I don't use all matte looks, like all matte palettes. especially not quads. So these two can definitely go. One of them is even in the packaging. And then these I actually enjoy a lot. Weirdly enough, this is just one of the best things I've ever gotten. It just looks great in summer. It's just very bright and fun. This seems like the most random color story. I'm not going to open it because the packaging broke a little bit and it's hard to close again. But actually, this makes some of the most fun looks ever. And then I had to get used to this. This is the Tender Loving Cancer, by the way. This is the Sunday Fun Day. And then the other one is the Yellow Hello Kitty one, the pineapple cake one. This, actually really enjoy. The Tender Loving Cancer has some beautiful shifty shades. And I also love that for once, my star sign is not a muted soft pink, because that tends to be the case. And then last, but very much not least, my two Glossier Monochrome Trios. Okay, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to shut up about it. Glossier, if you moved this shade over, you could have put in a deeper matte. That would have made me very happy, but that's okay. I have mine in the shade Jude, which I just showed you. I'm going to open it again. And the shade Mist, which looks like this. I think both are very beautiful, have their time and place. These are mainly when I want to do super quick look, just throw them on, and this is what I do. I love that these are refillable, so I'm gonna keep them, gonna use them. That's it. So I believe, if I counted correctly previously, I'm keeping about 80 palettes, and I'm getting rid of I think almost 70 palettes, like 68. I believe that's how we did, so I'm very happy with that. I'm gonna choose the palettes I'm gonna pack with me. That I'm gonna pack already in a box, and then I'm gonna keep with me here. Obviously, I'm gonna keep the chopping block palettes, and the rest I'm gonna put online, sell or give away. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this ultra long video. Thanks for staying here. Comment a little birthday cake if you're still here, and thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, all of that. Bye.